Long ago, in the high desert basin of Bitterwater, where the sand runs red and the mesas slice the sky, there lived a healer named Nali Yazi. Her name was known across the region, not only for her knowledge of herbs and chants, but because she had once spoken with the lightning and walked away untouched. But this story isn't about her. It's about what she tried to bury. And what came back. Bitterwater was a quiet place, too dry for crops, too rough for most. Only those who understood the land's mood stayed. The old one said the land had rules, whispers on the wind, warnings carried by coyote tracks and bent trees. Yazi listened to them all. One autumn, when the juniper turned dry and brittle, a stranger came to Bitterwater. He was tall, draped in a black coat despite the heat, and rode a pale horse that didn't blink. He didn't speak Dine, but his smile stretched too wide when he arrived at Yazi's door. "My name is Ash," he said. Yazi looked into his eyes and saw no reflection of the sky. No stars. Just hunger. She slammed the door. But that night the dreams came. Yazi awoke screaming, her hands shaking, her hair soaked in sweat. In her dream, the mesas bled, and from the wound crawled a thing, skinless, shifting, dragging the voices of children behind it like smoke. The old chants failed her. She burned sage, sprinkled black ash, sang her grandmother's songs. But nothing worked. For 3 nights, she dreamed of the stranger with his empty eyes and the thing beneath the ground, twisting, stretching, calling. On the 4th night, she followed her dreams into the desert. She walked to a place the elders never spoke of. A sinkhole near the canyon edge, where birds never nested and shadows never matched their shapes. The wind screamed as she arrived. There she found bones. But they weren't animal. Some were long and thin, others jagged, too sharp. And all of them glowed faintly, as though they remembered something that should have been forgotten. She buried them deep, sang prayers and poured red ochre in a circle. But it wasn't enough. The ground twitched. The wind stilled. And something opened its eyes. By winter, the stranger had moved into an old hogan on the edge of the valley. No one remembered selling it to him. No one remembered him arriving. Children stopped laughing. Dogs stopped barking. And the whispers came back. Elder Hosky saw it first. A tall figure walking the cliffs at night, wearing the face of his wife who'd been buried the year before. He called out, thinking he was dreaming. He turned, smiled, then walked backward into the dark. Others spoke of a woman seen at the trading post, dragging a coyote by the tail, its eyes gouged out. Her voice echoed even when she didn't move her mouth. They were called the Hollow Ones, spirits that wore the skin of people, stitched from bone and lie. They moved like mist but left tracks. They fed on fear but could never be full. Yazi knew what they were. They were echoes of a mistake made long ago. They were back. Because of her. It began small. Goats disappeared. Footprints appeared on the ceilings of homes. Ash fell from the sky even when there were no fires. But then the disappearances began. First it was Kiyaz, the boy who always chased lizards. Then his sister. Then their father. Gone as if swallowed by the wind. No screams. No struggle. Just silence. Yazi tried to warn them. She told them of the dreams. Of the stranger. Of the bones. Most laughed her off, called her old, said her mind was slipping. But one night a mother came to her weeping. Her daughter had returned home, but her eyes were too wide, her smile too still. She walked like her daughter, spoke like her daughter, but she never blinked. Not once. Yazi went to the hogan. The girl was sitting on the floor humming. When Yazi stepped inside, the girl tilted her head. Then she whispered, "You dug too deep." Yazi rode for 2 days across dry riverbeds and beneath haunted cliffs, until she reached the home of Hashkiai, a blind singer who had once broken a curse using only wind and words. He was waiting. "You shouldn't have gone to the sinkhole," he said before she could speak. "That place holds what should not have a name." "I thought I buried it," she said. "You woke it." He told her the story. Long ago, before the Dine crossed into this world, there was a being made of everything wrong: envy, hunger, cruelty. It had no name, only whispers. It tried to follow them across the worlds, but was trapped beneath the 4th world by the Spider-Woman's web. But the bones remained. The echo lingered. And when disturbed, it found a voice again. "It's not just one," Hashkiai said. "It wears many. It will walk again if the last seal is broken." "What seal?" Yazi asked. He pointed to her heart. They returned together. Yazi, Hashkiai, and the others who still remembered the old chants. They gathered on the mesa above Bitterwater. As the sun set, they saw them, figures walking across the sand. Each wore a familiar face. Children. Loved ones. Elders long gone. They stood in silence. Then all at once they screamed. Not sound but memory. Their voices carried images. Pain, fear, shame, regret. One woman saw her dead husband begging her to join him. A man saw his mother, eyes empty, asking where he'd buried her. Yazzie saw her sister, the one she left behind long ago, the one she couldn't save. Hashkiai spoke the first chant. The creatures writhed. Yazzie lit the sacred fire. They howled. And from the center of them the stranger emerged, his face still blank, still smiling. His voice echoed like wind through bone. You called me. You fed me. You feared me. The hollow ones surged forward, tearing through the dark. Their bodies twisted like smoke, but their mouths dripped with red. Yazzie and the others stood within a circle drawn with black ash and crushed turquoise. The fire roared higher, pushed by the chants. The stranger stepped into the flames. And the flames bowed away from him. You cannot kill what lives in memory, he said. You cannot silence what was born in secrets. Yazzie stepped forward, her hands trembling. She held a stone, smooth, blue, carved with a single spiral. She pressed it to her chest. Then I will carry you. The stone glowed. The whisper screamed. The creatures turned. And the wind swallowed them whole. In the morning, Bitterwater was silent again. The hollow ones were gone. The hogan stood empty, its windows shattered from within. No footprints. No ashes. Just a circle of turquoise at the edge of town. Yazzie never returned. Some say she walks the mesas, her spirit keeping the seal closed. Others say she became part of the land, whispering warnings to those who strayed too far. But the children of Bitterwater know the truth. They hear her on quiet nights in the wind that creeps through the rocks. Do not dig what is buried. Do not answer your name in the dark. And never, ever smile back at a stranger with empty eyes. Because the land remembers. And some things only sleep when we forget.